Bazby, you brutal, burning bastard bitch. I did not expect you to make an appearance in the fight with Ichigo and the four ladies, but you were also joined by a slew of other Quincy, which are trying to test out Ichigo and his brand new destructive powers this week, and it also looks like the Quincy leader is getting ready to enact his very strange and convoluted plan, whatever the hell that may be. All I know is this was a pretty interesting chapter of Bleach for a number of reasons. One, we actually got to see the true destructive power of Ichigo's brand new Getsuga Juji show, when you got to see that it literally took off Candace Catnip's arm, which was pretty awesome to say the least. But this is the Bleach universe. They just shrug off damage like it's no big deal, and apparently Giselle, that's Giselle Jewel, who is the zombie Sternritter girl, has the ability to literally take body parts from zombies or dead people and reattach them to someone else so that they can regenerate. And that's exactly what happens this week with Candace Catnip's arm, and she is getting ready to attack again with all of the help from her lady friends, when suddenly Bazby just appears out of nowhere in all of his mohawk glory, deciding to use his Burning Finger #1 to burn through all of the ladies at once. I was a little disappointed by this for a number of reasons. One, I wanted to see more from these four lady characters because, frankly, they're one of the more interesting group of Quincy that I've seen. I'm done with Bazby at this point. I'm sick of seeing this guy fight. I'm sick of his one-trick pony move. Even though he does happen to be incredibly powerful, I just don't really care for Bazby that much. But he's also joined by a number of other Quincy Sternritter, such as Nanana Jacoop, who's the one creepy-looking dude who has a really great design. I can't wait to see what he's all about. There's also Pepe, the guy who's floating around on the weird little floaty thing, and he just looks hilarious. And then, of course, there's that one unnamed old dude who is the guy who decided to go all Red Ryder BB gun on Shun Shui. And he's definitely, I think, the one we're going to have to look out for the most, because if he was able to go toe-to-toe with Shun Shui, he's probably the strongest one in this group right now. You got to really consider that. But Ichigo is not really worried about any of this. He's really ready to just take them all at once. His power level is clearly at a completely different way that we've seen it before, but at the end of the chapter, that's when the Quincy leader has this big plan that's getting ready to be enacted, and I'm not sure what's about to happen. All I know is there's a big pillar of light in the sky, and Ichigo looks worried, so that's pretty much it this week. So, what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Bleach? Well, my friends, it was pretty cool. The artwork this week was pretty cool. A lot of detail, like when Candace gets destroyed and her arm has been ripped off. I like the fact that when her arm is actually regenerating, you can see it's like floating up, almost like parts from Majin Buu. That looks pretty cool. When Bazby came in and decided to start killing them all, that was both brutal and awesome at the same time. But I do like the fact that they're actually not dead quite yet. Even though that other group of Quincy came in, they're still ready to fight. Even though they all have these massive gaping holes in their body, they're still ready to go. This just shows how dedicated they are, and frankly, how creepy they are. Ichigo this week, you know, he sent out a massive flying destructive technique point blank at someone, and as it's happening, he's screaming to her, "Get out of the way." I don't know what he was planning, but he should have realized if he's going to send a giant massive cross explosion towards something, chances are you're going to get caught in the blast, and that's exactly what happened to Candace this week. She's lucky that it only took her arm off. It could have taken off a lot more considering how powerful it is. But still, this is just the beginning of Ichigo's powers. You know, we've only seen, like, his default techniques here. The Getsuga Jujisho, which essentially is just a powered-up version of the Getsuga Tensho, just now white in the form of a cross. But I really can't wait to see how he's going to be able to incorporate some of his other brand new abilities into his fighting skills, such as his Quincy abilities. Will he still be able to use his Vizard mask? Like, there's so many possibilities for him. Not to mention, hey, you remember that whole arc where he discovered that he had Fullbringer abilities? Maybe that'll come into the forefront eventually. All I know is this was an okay chapter of Bleach, which definitely fell in line with a lot of the previous week's chapters where it just sort of flew right by. There was very little dialogue, lots of action, lots of massive panels with a little bit of detail. Again, letting you know that Kubo knows how to design some really interesting characters, just not really good at doing the backgrounds all that much. But still, if you're a fan of Bleach, definitely check this one out just to see a little bit of action and getting to see some of Ichigo's destructive brand new power. And, of course, to see what's about to happen in the story, because shit's about to go down with all these pillars of light exploding in the sky. Whenever there's a pillar of light in an anime and a manga, you know shit's about to go down. So, for me, personally, this chapter was a little slow in some parts, but I liked it. I liked all of the action this week. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 this week. Check it out, guys. Pretty exciting. It's now time for the Super Kami Guru 9000 annual end of video sales pitch extravaganza! Yes, my friends, if you saw this week's chapter of Bleach, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. You can tell me with your comments below. How do you feel about Bazby suddenly returning and interrupting the fight with Ichigo and the four ladies? And what is actually going on with the Quincy leader? What is his big plan? You can tell me with your comments below. Remember, guys, before you leave, hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. It's tremendously easy to do, and it helps out our videos in ways that I cannot explain. The best ways to help out our videos, aside from simply watching them, is to subscribe to the channel. And you can also check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Twitter. I'll put links to those in the description box below. And if you guys would like, you can also donate directly to Super Kami Guru 9000. So, I will see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.